Can somebody please tell me today is what? Day 8?
Day
Oh, I'm
9.
sharing this. Day 9. Okay. So day 9. Yeah. So tell me what is that we have discussed yesterday?
Yesterday we were discussed about black box testing, white box testing, and about those things.
The gray box types.
Gray box
So
testing.
And
black box
architecture of
testing.
different types.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Black box testing, white
White
box
box
testing,
testing, gray box
Gray
testing.
box testing.
gray box testing. Okay. So black box, white box testing. Are there any other names for this? Recording Sanket,
Glass
it has
box.
started.
Glass box test.
Glass
Glass
box
box testing.
testing.
Clear box testing.
Clear box.
So logically you thought, right? Black means you'll not be able to, I mean, it's all black. You will not be able to see what is happening on the back end. Okay.
Yes.
White box means you should be able to understand what is happening on the back end. Also, glass house also you can see from the other side, if there is a glass you can see on the other side. So that's what they are calling it as a white box or glass box, or clear box means whatever is there on the back end, it is very clear and you should be able to understand. There is a logic by giving these names as well. If you pay little bit of attention, you will understand that why they have given those names. Gray boxes in the real world also they use the word gray, right? If it is not black and white, they say gray area, right? Have you heard that? Okay, there is a lot of confusion. It is not black or white. Means black means like completely, this not clear. White means completely clear. But something is not clear or not somewhere between. It is not clear and clear. They call it as gray area. You remember? I mean, do you know that it is used the word like gray? How they use it? Do you know that word gray is used for that, wherein it's not 100% they are not clear about something, then they use that, it's called a gray area. You ever heard that somebody using the word gray? Okay, so if not, once you get into the software you will be hearing this word a lot, where there is a confusion, there is no clarity, there is not 100% clarity, then they just say that, oh, it's a gray area, I'm collecting more information, as and when I get more information I'll give you, but as of now there's a lot of confusion around that, it's a gray area. Okay, so that's what is gray means. So something which is not both white box and black box, they are calling it as a gray box. Okay. So other than this, what else we have discussed, guys?
Parts of testing, sir. Conventional testing and unconventional testing.
Okay, conventional, non-conventional, wonderful. And what else? What else we have discussed?
Environments.
Wonderful. So is it Aruna who is speaking?
Yes, sir. Aruna.
Okay, environments. So what are the servers involved and what kind of environments we have discussed yesterday? I want to hear from all the
Production environment,
production
test environment,
Environment
production
and
environment,
testing
test,
environment.
Testing environment.
development environment.
Testing
wonderful.
environment.
Dev environment and testing environment. Okay. And if there are other things, there will be another environments as well, like pre-prod is something, pre-production. Okay. So do you ever have this final exams, and before final exams there was like pre-finals? Did you heard these words in your
Mock
schools?
test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're especially
Yes.
from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, there is definitely something called pre-finals. You would have heard. In other states also, you do this before the final exam. There is something called pre-final.
Mock test.
You call it as mock test. Okay. So like there in Hyderabad or Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, 10th class is supposed to be the main exam,
Yes.
the government exam. So before the actual final exam, my school used to conduct pre-finals. Okay, like that it is being conducted in your states as well. I'm just asking wherever the people are from, whichever state they are from. Yeah, Radhika says yes. Okay, please unmute yourself. Subramaniam, Swati, Sayed. Anybody tells what? Yes. What do you call those exams as? One is, somebody said it's mock exam.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Sleep test.
Brilliant.
Pre-final exams.
Pre-final is, sir. Mock exams. What is the other one
Preparatory
called?
exam.
Preparatory exam. Prelims. Okay. Prelims. Wonderful.
Brilliant.
Okay. preparatory exams, okay. But here in Andhra Pradesh we call it as a pre-final, which means that it is before the final exam. Okay, similarly, before the code goes into production, there is something called pre-production. Okay, so why there will be a pre-production environment, that's we will discuss little later. Okay, so Kumar sir, for dev environment is developers, testing environment is for testers, production environment is for the real people using it. What is the pre-prod used for? I'll get to that little later when I cover the levels of testing. But there is something called pre-prod environment. Pre-production, they call it as pre-prod environment. There is something called performance testing environment. So the point I am making is these are not the only environments which I've covered in the class that will be there. There will be more environments depending on the company, depending upon so many other things. Okay, that's what I want you to understand. Okay, wonderful. So okay, anyways, so these are the three things that we have discussed yesterday, but there could be more environments depending on the company. Okay, and we will discuss about the pre-production or pre-prod at the later point of time, not now. Okay, wonderful. So whatever the environment is, they are similar in the sense that, let's say there is one client, okay, one web server and one app server, okay, and one database server. Okay, then generally, like, your dev environment will have the same thing, your test environment will have the same thing, and your production environment will have the same thing. Sometimes it could be different as well. Sometimes it could be different as well. Okay. Oh, sleep test. Oh, Jagdish says sleep test. Sleep test or sleep test? Jagdish, what is it? Is it sleep test or sleep test? We used to call it a
Test.
sleep test.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I wish there was a sleep test. I'll go and I want to sleep in the test. Wonderful. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is what we have discussed yesterday. So now whatever I'm testing, whatever I'm going to teach, these three things are very, very important in the things that I'm about to teach right now. I'm going to teach you something called levels of testing. Okay, levels of testing. Okay, like different levels, you understand, right? Okay, so the first one is unit testing. Okay, once I complete what is this testings, then you will understand why they named it as levels of testing. Okay, each one is at a certain level. Something is at a lower level, something is little higher level, so that's why they are calling it as levels of testing. Once I complete all the levels of testing, you will understand why they named it as levels of testing. Okay, why they named it as levels of testing. Today there is less people who have shown up. Some of them are missing. Anybody missing? Gauri is there, Hanoni is there, Jagdish, Mani, Alekia, hi Alekia, Abhishek is there, Mani is there, Manikandan is there, Partha Saradi, everybody is there. Somebody is missing, I don't know who. Wonderful. Sayed, wonderful, Alekia. So nice, everybody is there. Okay, so okay, let me complete all this, then you will understand why why there are levels of testing. So yeah, when I was speaking about high level design, low level design, I've spoken about these units, right? Okay, they divide the whole project into small units or components. Did I spoke about
Modules.
it, guys? Did I
Modules.
spoke about it? Modules? Yeah, the small
Yes, sir.
modules, you can call it as units. Okay, so you remember that high level design and low level design, guys? You
Yes, sir.
remember that SDSC? So the whole project, they break it down into components. Okay, and those components, okay, you can break it down into, okay, the whole project, okay, you can break it down into components. Okay, break it down into components, and each component, typically each component, okay, component, okay, you can break it further down into units, small units. Okay, so basically the way the projects will be created or the coding is done is, first a coding is done for a particular unit, a small unit. Okay, then all the units will be integrated, to components or modules. Okay, components, or we can call it as modules. Okay, then all the modules will be integrated integrated into a complete application, or 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 system. Okay, so a complete application. Okay,
Sure.
first small units will be developed, and those units will be integrated into modules or components, and all those modules will be integrated into the final application. Okay, that's how they do it, guys. Okay, somebody has spoken. Any questions, guys? Somebody has spoken. Any question? Anybody? Subramaniam, do you have any questions? Somebody was speaking. No? Okay. So first, what the coding will be done? Coding will be done for small units. Small units. Okay. So once the developer based on the pseudo code, P E pseudo code. Okay, they based on the pseudo code, okay, based on the pseudo code, they will develop the units. They will, okay, develop the units. Are we clear, guys? They will develop the
Sir,
units.
what the mean of P pseudocode? Normal the coding.
You have attended my first 2 to 3 classes. Can I know your name, please? Hello.
Yeah, Durgesh here.
Durgesh. So Durgesh, so we have covered in detail what is a pseudocode, brother, in maybe the
Okay.
second or third class. Right now, again, I cannot go back and explain. It will be little difficult
Sure.
because we have spent 10 to 15 minutes understanding what is a pseudocode, what is a source code. Okay,
So
so
no, I will go through your last uploaded videos on that.
uploaded videos. Okay, but
Sure.
again, it will be a waste of time for other things, other people.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
because it is like a repetition. Please watch. Pseudocode is nothing but the code in English language. Code in English language. Okay, for example,
Okay.
Durgesh. Okay, if, okay, login credentials are valid. Okay, valid.
Yes.
Then okay, uh, display, okay, display the dashboard. Okay, else
Okay.
display this error message. What is the error message? Okay,
Invalid
your
credentials.
credentials are invalid. This is the piece of code in English language. The same English, this is what we call it as a pseudo code. Okay,
Pseudocode.
P is
Okay.
silent here. Okay, so based on this pseudo code, the developers will convert this into a source code. Okay, if C language is the
Okay.
language used, then they will write it in the C language. Else, if Java is
Sure.
selected, they will write the same thing in a Java language or a Python or a .NET or any of those languages. But this is actually a pseudo code. Okay, got it?
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, superb. Okay, so wonderful. Based on the pseudocode, they will develop the units. Okay, this could be one unit, guys. This could be one unit. Okay, so this piece of code is developed. Okay, as I've told you, this small piece of code is one unit, we can assume. Okay, now the developer will develop the piece of code for this particular unit. Okay, now once this unit is developed, okay, let's say the Java language is the programming language. Okay, is the programming language. So in this programming language, okay, the pseudo code is converted to the actual source code. Okay, now, or the Java code. Okay, now this small piece of code, which is the unit, okay, they need to test it. Okay, they need to test this code. Okay, test this code. How they will test the code? Okay, see, first they will write this, and then what they do, they give first valid credentials. Okay, valid credentials. What is the valid credentials? Let's say Kumar is the username, password is Isha Training Solutions or Isha. Okay, so this is the username. Let's say this is the username. Okay, and this is the password. This is the password. Okay, so this is the password. So now okay, what the developer will do, this, they will enter the valid username, valid password to this particular unit, and see the dashboard is being displayed or not. Dashboard is being displayed or not. Okay, then not only this, they will also give invalid username as well, maybe Kumar1, and password they will give it correct only. Okay, which is Isha. Okay, now the developer has given this input for this piece of code. What it will do, it will display the dashboard or it will display this error message. This is one, this is
Error
two. What will
message.
happen?
Two.
One or two?
Message.
Two?
Two.
Two. Wonderful. Everybody, I want to hear from everybody. There are 29 people in the class.
True, sir.
Okay,
Yesterday
two.
the error
Okay,
message, sir.
wonderful. So developer will test that. Okay, as a part of this unit testing. Not only that, what the developer will do? Okay, username correct, password incorrect, password incorrect. Isha 123. Okay, what will happen in this case?
Two.
This is 1, this is 2. Which one will be displayed? 2. Okay,
Two.
and then he will also
Two,
test
sir.
with this one also. Okay, Kumar 1 and password is what? Isha 1234 or 123 or 1, whatever it is. Okay, again this error message should be displayed.
Two.
Okay, so
Two,
first what he has given, valid credentials. Next, invalid username, valid password, valid username, invalid password, invalid username, invalid password. Okay, so like this they will test this unit, and once he is happy and satisfied, he will say that the unit testing for that particular unit is done. Now you tell me, this is a black box testing or white box testing?
It's a
Black
white box.
box.
Black box, sir.
Black box.
Okay, now you tell me, okay, how many of you say black box testing, which is 1? How many of you say white box testing, which is 2?
One.
Okay, what is B, Mani, Deepika? So all of you believe it is a black box testing, but you see, when this unit is developed, this particular unit is developed, there is no front end. Okay, the code is written in Java. Okay, so the code is written in Java, which means that the code is done in Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse. Okay, so the Java code is written in Eclipse. Okay, so there is no front end when this unit is developed. There is no front end. Front end means what? On the browser you will not, there is no URL, you cannot open it on the browser, nothing can be done. The code is there, the Java code is there, which is there on the Eclipse. Okay, the developer will be developing this. Okay, they're giving this input in the Eclipse and running the program. He will click on the run button on the Eclipse. Now you tell me, do you need the knowledge of Java and Eclipse and all that to run this testing? One is yes, two is no. Do you know,
Yes.
do you have the knowledge of Eclipse and
No,
Java code, and where you have to
no, sir.
give this username and password? Because there is no front end. Front end means there is no browser, there is no place to enter the username and password and all that. So as a Java, you should be knowing about the Eclipse. You should be knowing where to give this username password. Only the developers will be able to know where you have to give the username password, because this is not happening on the browser. This is happening on a on the on the Eclipse. Okay, so and then you know how to run that program as well. There is a run button, and you have to you should be able to run this program, whatever the program that has been written for this, you have to run it, which means that you have to know the Java code, you have to know how to execute the Java code, you have to know where to give these inputs to the Java code, and you have to know all this is done in Eclipse, which means that you have to know very good knowledge of the Eclipse. So now you tell me, is this a white box testing or a black box testing? One is white box, black box testing. Two is white box testing.
Now it's two.
Two. Okay, so this can be done only by the programmers or the developers. Definitely this is a white box testing, which means that you have to have a good knowledge of the coding language Java, and then only then you can open the Eclipse, you can give these inputs, and you can run that program, and you should be able to check the output as well, because only you know the Eclipse, you know where to check the output as well. So you have to have a good knowledge of Java coding for this and the Eclipse. So definitely this is a white box testing, because you should be able to read this Java code and enter the username, password, run it, check the outputs. So completely everything is happening on the programming level. You don't have a browser, you don't have a front end, you don't have a URL, you don't have a place to enter the username and password. So definitely this is a white box testing, guys. Okay, are we clear so far, guys? Are we clear with the unit level testing?
Yes. But sir, that it if this is come in the GUI, so it will we can call, is it black box?
Yeah, but when it will come in the GA, all these units are first integrated to components, and all the components will be integrated to the application. And then as a part of it, they also build the GUI. So once they build the
Okay.
GUI, they have to integrate with the backend program, and they give the URLs to you, which will take these units, let's say, are developed in March. Okay, by the time the whole coding is done, it will be probably June. So this definitely, again, you have to check it from the front end as well. Okay, but that will happen as a part of this system testing. Okay, first unit testing is done. After the unit testing is done, then you will test the module testing, which I'm covering them. After the module level testing is done, then you have to do the integration level testing, then the system level testing. So by the, I mean, this will be done from the front end, but it will be done at the later point of time, which will be a black box testing. Are you understanding, guys?
Yes.
Okay, first what happens, all the units will be integrated to components will be integrated to application. Then you have to have develop the GUI and integrate with this application, then you can do it from the front end, then that becomes the black box testing. Are we clear, guys? Wonderful question. Whoever has asked
Yes.
this question, who was that question? Who has asked
Durgesh.
this question? Durgesh. Wonderful,
Durgesh.
Durgesh. So that's what happens. So probably after the units are developed, by the time the whole application is ready, it will be 2 to 3 months. And after 3 months, you will be testing it from the front end, which will be the black box testing, and the testing that you call it as system testing. Okay. Wonderful, guys. Now we are calling it as a unit level testing. What you are calling it as unit testing or unit level testing. Are you okay, guys? Are you okay, all of you? Durgesh, did you understood the thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now the next thing is what? All the units will be integrated. Okay. You will be a module. Okay. So I cannot say integrated, but all the units are put together and a module is made. Okay, or I can use the word integrated, to be honest. Okay, so all the units will be integrated to all the units will be integrated to module. Okay, so let me tell you how that happens. Okay, let me take this picture. Okay, let's say this is one unit. Okay, so this is my unit 1 and this is my unit 2. Okay, unit is nothing but a small program, I told you, na? So this is my unit 1. Okay, this is my unit 1 and this is my unit 2. Okay, this is my unit 1 and this is my unit 2. Wonderful. Okay, these two units needs to be integrated so that you can become a module. Okay, so that that part where both these units will be integrated. Okay, integration is done through something called interface, guys. Interface. Okay, so let's say this is program 1. Unit is nothing but some program, right? So which is written in Java in our example. This is my program 1. Okay, this is my program 1. Okay, this is my program 2. Okay, this is my program 2. Okay, these two programs needs to be integrated. It is integrated something called, okay, so this is integrated with something called, any idea, guys? Any guesses? Any guesses? Okay,
Modules.
interface. What do you call it as?
Okay.
Interface. Okay, so this is, both these units or programs are integrated with some interface. What is the interface? Again, it has some piece of code. Okay, it is the code here. It is the code written in Java only. Okay, so this is some code. Okay, so program is also code, right? Okay, so there will be some code written here. This program, there is some code written here. It is for one purpose, this is for one purpose. Here whatever the code you are writing, purely so that you can integrate these two modules, two units. Okay, so this interface which is there, okay, is nothing but, okay, which is integrating these two programs. Here we call this as integration testing. Okay, or interface testing, we can call it as testing this interface, or we are integrating these two programs. Integrating means what? Mixing. What do you say? Mixing or connecting is the right word. Okay,
Combining
you are,
two programs.
yeah, binding two programs, connecting two programs, or simply integrating two programs. Okay, you can call this as an interface testing, or you're using this interface, you're integrating or connecting these two programs, so you can also call it as integration testing. Okay, are we clear, guys? Are we clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Are we clear, all of you? Integration testing or interface testing, okay, however you wanted to call it as. Superb, superb. So wonderful, Kumar sir. But I have a question, sir. Every testing, every level of testing, you either are classifying it to a white box or black box. Now you tell me, is this a white box testing or black box testing? White box 1, black box 2. I want to answer all of you. If you are putting it 1, then it
White
is a white
box.
box testing. Wonderful. You are putting 2, it is a black box. Yes, this is a white box
White.
testing. Why? Why white box testing? Why? Because you need to understand this piece of code which is written as a part of interface, and then you need to know how these two are integrated, or integrated, and then you run the test so that this interface is working fine, or this program, you execute this program so that this is running fine or not. You have to check, for which you need a good knowledge of that programming language. In our example, we thought the programming language is Java, so you have to have a good knowledge of Java. Then you will be able to do this interface testing. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear, all of you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. Yes.
Sir, I
wonderful,
have a
sir.
question for you. Can I?
Superb. Ask. Yeah, please.
Uh, if you take that, it was a, by using interface, we are connecting two programs. Is that
Wonderful.
is the
Yes.
mm, that is the interface testing? Just I'm
Yes.
asking you for clarity.
The developer will connect it, Baba, but as a part of the testing, you make sure that whatever they have connected, is it working fine or not, you will check.
Okay.
Okay, so in this example, okay, in this example, you see this is a dashboard module and this is a login module. If login credentials are valid, then the dashboard 2 should be displayed, for example. Okay, but dashboard is, let's say, unit 2. Okay, login is unit 1. So what you will do, if these two things are interfaced well, okay, and you enter the valid credentials, then dashboard needs to be displayed. The dashboard is being displayed correctly or not, you will check. Okay, if the interface is correct, then the dashboard is, let's say, the program 2, login is, let's say, the program 1, and if you enter the valid credentials, dashboard should display. Then if this interface is correct, then the dashboard should be displayed correctly. Then you say that, okay, my interface which is used for the connection is working fine. Are we okay? Whoever is asked the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, or if this is too complex, I'll give you a simple example. What is your name? What is your name?
Aruna, sir. Aruna.
Aruna. So Aruna, I'm giving a simple example, but it cannot be called as a unit. But just for the discussion purposes, I'm saying. Okay. So let's say you have done a balance transfer. Okay, balance transfer. But this is a module. Okay, I cannot really use this example here. Okay, but it is on the program level. I cannot for me to explain this. Okay, I have to go to the program level and explain. But just for the discussion purposes, let's say balance transfer is unit 1. Okay, actually balance transfer is a module, not a unit. For our discussion purposes, let's say it's a unit. SMS is unit 2. Okay, where once the balance transfer is done, SMS needs to be sent. Aruna, are you hearing? Okay, balance transfer is a module, actually it's not a unit, but just for the discussion purposes, let's say, okay, balance transfer is unit 1, SMS is unit 2. Okay, now balance transfer is done, automatically the SMS should be sent to the person saying that your money has been transferred to blah 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 person. Okay, so what you are doing, you are doing the balance transfer, and you are checking if SMS is happening fine or not. If SMS is coming, then interface is working fine. Are you okay, Aruna? Aruna, are you working? Are you okay with this example? Actually, this
Yes, sir.
this this is applicable for module level. Actually, I cannot say balance transfer is unit 1. It is module 1 actually. Okay, but just for you to understand what it is, I gave this example. But definitely, this is not the apt example for units. Units are small programs, Baba. Okay, but ignore this
So
example, Aruna.
can we
Or
say login functionality and the update profile functionality? We can say this example.
somebody has spoken, but I'm not able to. I mean,
Yes,
your
they,
your voice
I
faded away.
am I am asked. I am just. Am I audible now, sir? I'm
You're
asking
audible,
the
but you're
login
breaking.
functionality we can consider.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Login
Login function.
functionality as a one unit piece of program, and the update profile is a second. So we can consider this example.
We can, but there should be little bit of dependency on both of them. Okay, then we can say that interface has been done. Maybe we can consider that as well, but we have to, yeah, so we can consider that, brother. Okay, but again, these are on the program levels. Okay, very hard to
Yes.
explain. Only once you get into the Java code, I can explain these interfaces and how that works. But let's not make it complex, guys. Okay, maybe in the interviews also they might not ask much, but they will ask how the units are integrated. You can say it is an interface, okay, which is help for integrating. Okay, so somebody is asking, Kavita, if the SMS is not done, then definitely that interface testing test case is failed. You will raise the defect will be fixed by the developers. You have to retest, Kavita. Okay, Kavita, are you there? Understood? Okay. With the help of predefined functions, developers will link the code with other developer codes and make full-fledged working code. Wonderful, Rohit. If I start talking that language, already from 60, 30 people, and I start talking this language, from 30, tomorrow only 10 people will come. But what you said is absolutely right. Okay. Now, anyways, so this is what it is. But guys, here I need to take some time here and explain this. When I am integrating with an interface, there are so many ways I can integrate. There are different types of approaches with which we can integrate. Okay, so let me talk about those approaches right now. Okay, there are multiple approaches with which okay, with which I can integrate. Okay, the different approaches with which I can integrate. Okay, the first approach is top down approach. Okay, top down approach. Wonderful. What is the top down approach, Kumar sir? Okay, what is the top down approach? Okay, first the main module or the main unit is developed. First the main program or the main unit is okay, main main program. Let's say it's a main, this is the main program. Okay, or the main unit, or I can call it as a main program. Okay, so this is the main program. Okay, this is the main program, and then you will have the sub programs, and you interconnect the main program to the sub programs. Okay, okay, so this is the main program. Okay, so this is the main program, this is the main program, and then you have a sub programs, then there is a sub programs. Okay, so which are at the level, lower level sub programs. Okay, sub programs. Okay, so this is subprogram 1, and then there's a subprogram 2. Okay, this subprogram 2, and this is a subprogram 1. Okay, this is subprogram 1. Now using the interface, okay, using the, I think I wish I have a cross arrow. Can I get a cross arrow from here? Anybody knows how to get a cross arrow, guys? How can I get a cross arrow? Is there an arrow over here somewhere? Where can I get an arrow? I can change this one, but these arrows are straight arrows, but I want a cross arrow. Actually, this is a straight line, right? But I want a cross arrow. Anybody good with the paint knows how, where to pull out the cross arrow? Man, there used to be something cross arrow. Anyways, okay, so now the main program is integrated with the subprogram 1. The main program is integrated with the subprogram 2. Okay, so this is the top down approach, guys, going from the top to bottom. Okay, so how this main program is integrated with the subprogram? Do we need anything when we are integrating this main program with the subprogram, or this main unit with the subunit? Okay, do we need anything to integrate, guys? Hello?
Interface.
Interface, you need the interface. Just now we see that program 1, program 2, if you want to integrate both the programs, you need an interface. So this is program 1, this is program 2. Okay, so you need to integrate both of them, you need an interface, right? So using a interface 1, this main program is integrated with the sub program. Using the interface 2, this main program is integrated with the sub program. Okay, so like this. Okay, so like this you can keep keep going from the top to bottom. Okay, keep going from top to bottom. Okay, like this is the, again you can have more sub programs here. Okay, more sub programs here. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is a subprogram 3, subprogram 4, subprogram 5, subprogram 6. Okay, so you will be integrating this subprogram 1 with these two. Okay, so okay, and this subprogram with this two. Like this, they keep integrating all the units so that you have the final application, guys. So let's say this is subprogram 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm not naming them, but that's what it is. So you're going from top to bottom. So this is called top-down approach. Okay. Okay, last one in shape
Yes,
diagram,
sir.
there is the arrow. Oh, where is the arrow? This one is the arrow. Lightning. This one is lightning. Okay, we don't want to use this one here. Okay, there is no arrow, brother, but these arrows are straight arrows. I cannot have a cross arrow. I want a cross arrow. Okay, anyways, thank you Manideepika. I'm you are telling me, but I'm not able to understand. Okay, so like this, the main program is integrated with the sub programs using the interface, and these sub programs are integrated with further sub programs using more interfaces, but you are going from top to bottom. This is called top down approach. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear? So let's say more sub programs. There is a developer who have built more sub programs. Then those sub programs will be integrated as per wherever it needs to be. Let's say that sub program needs to be integrated with SP1. Then again, that new program that developer has created, that will be integrated with this sub program one, like this, using another interface. Okay, using another interface. Are we clear, guys? All of you. Let's say this is sub program 4. Okay, this is sub program 4. Okay, now the developer, one of the developer has created one more sub program. Okay, that needs to be integrated with sub program 4. Okay, then that will be integrated using the interface like this, but it goes from top to bottom. It goes from top to bottom. Are we clear, guys? Everybody, are we clear here? Everybody, like this, they keep writing the
Yes.
programs and they keep integrating with their actual program. So this whole thing, this one has some lines of code. Okay, this one have some lines of code. uh, Man, this one have some lines of code. This one have some lines of code. Okay, so this one have some lines of code. So like this, every program has a lines of code. All finally all of them are integrated. You call that as a source code. You call it as a source code. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so beautiful. Now this is the first approach. Now you tell me what could be the second approach.
Bottom up.
Wonderful.
Bottom
It's
down.
no rock.
Bottom
It's
down.
not a rock. Bottom down is like going down. Okay. Bottom up means there is some scope. Bottom down is like going
Up and
further down. Okay. Top down I've
Yeah,
already told you. Na? Bottom up we have to say, right? So yeah, bottom up. Okay. But the only thing with the bottom up is all the arrows will be upwards. All the arrows will be upwards. Okay. So bottom up. Bottom up. Okay, bottom up approach. Okay, so bottom up approach. Okay, here sub programs are created first. Okay, to avoid confusion, I'm taking, okay, I will also take this as well. Okay, sub programs are created first. Okay, and then they are integrated with their parent module. Okay, with their parent program. Okay, for this one this is the parent program, for this one this is the parent program, for this one this is the parent program. So like this, so first the sub programs are created first, and then they start integrating with the main program, and then they start integrating with the main program. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear, all of you? Are we clear, all of you? Are we clear, all of you? Everybody?
Yes.
yes, yes.
I'm lazy enough to draw the pictures again, so I'm using the current picture and then erasing that and then drawing on the top of it. Okay, so I'm a lazy person, trust me, guys. Okay, but again,
Yes.
lazy persons, you sometimes will be successful as well in the IT industry. Okay, so I was lucky enough. Okay, like this, it is a bottom up approach. Okay, So this is what it is. So first the sub programs are created, then they are integrated with their parent programs. For this one, this is the parent. For this one, this is the parent. For this one, this is the parent. Are we clear, guys? All of you? Are we clear? Okay. So wonderful, Kumar sir. So
Yep.
there are other approaches. Okay, I'm telling you that there is one more approach. What could be the name of that approach?
Bitban
Big bang.
approach.
Yeah, somebody has learned it. Who is that? Can I know the name?
Durgesh.
Who answered it? Durgesh. So you learned it elsewhere, is it?
Durgesh.
No, you learned it
Actually,
elsewhere.
I'm learning the testing.
You're
No,
learning
I'm
elsewhere.
learning myself. I started learning from yes, YouTube and
Okay.
the Doodles.
Wonderful. So there is one more approach. There is one more approach called, somebody said it is top down, bottom up. So instead of saying top down, bottom up, they call it as hybrid. What they call it as? Hybrid. Okay. So there is something called hybrid approach. Okay. Hybrid approach. Okay. Wonderful, guys. Okay. Wonderful. Top down is done. Bottom up is there. Hybrid. What is hybrid? Okay. Randomly they will create. They will create a main program. They will create a sub program, and some of, randomly they will be creating, and then they will be integrating. Let's say the main program is a cocktail. Yes, Sayed, it's a cocktail. I love cocktails, but people call it as mocktails. So I love cocktails. Anyways, so let's say the main program is created and sub program is created. So they have integrated. So the main program is created, then the sub program is created. So they went top down. Okay, but here this the sub program here is created first, then the main program. This is up. So sometimes the arrows are done, sometimes the arrows are up, which is the mixture of top down, bottom up. So this is what is the hybrid. Okay, so here this is first created, later on this is created, though the arrow is going down. Okay, but here this is first created, later on this is created, then the arrow is going up. So sometimes it is going up, sometimes it is going down. So we call this as a hybrid approach. Are we clear, guys, all of you? Okay, are we clear, all of you? So there is no process as such that first main programs, then sub programs, then sub programs, nothing like that. Whatever they feel like, they will be developing it, and then they will be interfacing it. Let's say first main program is created, then this program, then this program, then this program. So main program is created first, then this one. So this is how it is integrated. But here this program is created first, later on this one, then this is how it is integrated. So this is top down, this is bottom up. So this is kind of mixed. We call it as a hybrid. Okay, so hybrid or sandwich or whatever you call it. Okay, are we clear, guys? Are we clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
then finally the big bang. Finally there is one more approach called big bang. Okay, finally, give me a moment, guys. Okay, finally there is something called big bang. Here all the modules are created first. Okay, so here as and when the modules are created, they are integrated. They say that, let's say in this whole project there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 programs are there. Okay, here first this program one is created, this is created, so they have integrated top down. Here you see this program is created, then after this they went top up. As and when the integration is done, the programs are created, then they are integrating as and when it is done. But in the big bang, all the 8 programs has to be created, all the 8 programs has to be created, and then has to be created, and then integrated, and then integrated. Okay, are we clear, guys? Are we clear, all of you? Okay, that is nothing but a big bang. Okay, this is nothing but a big bang. So it's easy peasy.
So I have
Yeah,
query on this.
yeah.
So in the Bitban testing, you said all the program has been created, then the tester will start the testing. So it will test on which approach? Anything he can check the first program, the second module, or anything, or he also follow some
There's nothing
protocol
like
for
that,
testing in the under the Bitban.
No, all the 8 are created,
Okay.
and at the time they will be integrating all of them at once. Okay, so there is nothing like top down, bottom up, or
Okay.
anything. However they want, they have to integrate. Only after the whole integration is done, then we will do the integration testing. So so there is nothing like top down, bottom up, when it comes to big bang tests. Okay. But
Okay.
brother, okay, what is important for you to understand here is, in the interviews they might not ask you to that level. They might ask you what are the different kind of approaches. you know so you should be able to answer, not much asked interview question, but sometimes they might ask you in integrating, like what is the approach and how it is integrated and all that. Okay. But what is important for you to understand is Satyam, okay, what is important for you to understand is, okay, I'll tell you. Give me one moment, guys. Satyam. Okay, so let's assume Satyam, I'm sorry guys, at the starting of the class only I gave you the what do you say? I already told you I'm not keeping 100% well, so I might be squeezing a lot and coughing and all that. But anyways, Satyam. So thank you, Aruna. Bless me. Thank you. So let's say you are going from top down approach, guys. You're going from top down approach. If one of the unit is not, the mandatory unit is not integrated. Okay, one of the mandatory unit is not ready, sorry, not integrated. Thank you. So this sp2 is not ready. For example, they are going with the top down approach. This sp2 is a mandatory program, okay, which is not ready. They will write a temporary program. They will write a temporary program. Okay, so temporary program. Okay, and then they integrate the temporary program over here. They integrate the temporary program over here. It is not the actual program. Actual program is what? sp2. Is it ready? Not ready. So what they do, just for the purpose of testing, they integrate this sp2 with a temporary program, because the sp2 is not ready. The sp2 is not ready. Okay, the sp2 is not ready. So what they will do, they will create a temporary program here. They will create a temporary program here, and that program we call it as a driver. What do we call that? As a driver. Okay, spelling is correct, guys? Spelling is right? Driver spelling, is that right? Somebody please confirm. I'm writing it down over here. driver, driver. Okay,
Yes.
so driver.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, the main program is not ready. So that main program is replaced by a temporary program, that is the driver. For example, here this is where you're doing the money transfer, for example. Okay, when you run this program, the money transfer is happening. Okay, but SMS needs to be sent along with that. That SMS is done by sending the SMS is done by sp2. But for the sake of testing this main program, what they will do, this program is not ready. They replace this program with the driver. This driver is not the actual program which will actually send the SMS. This driver program simply says to the main program, boss, SMS is sent. But actual SMS is sent? No, it is not sent. But it will give the response back to the main program saying that you asked me to send the SMS, I have sent the SMS. Just for the sake of testing of this main program, you are creating the driver program here, which is not the actual program which will send the SMS, but it is a dummy program which will give the response saying that yes, whatever you ask me, you'll say yes. It is like a dummy program. Okay. So this is not the actual program. The actual SMS is not sent, but this is a dummy program which will give the response back to the main program saying that the whatever you asked me to do, it is done. So this is what we call it as drivers. Why we create the drivers? So that we can peacefully test this main program without any problems. Okay, so these are nothing but drivers, this temporary program. Later on, when the actual program is ready, they will replace the drivers with the actual program. So this is what is the driver. Okay, similarly, let's say this bottom up approach, some of the mandatory programs needs to be there, but it is not ready. Then these main programs are also replaced. I mean, these programs are also, the parent program or whatever you call it is replaced by a temporary program. That temporary program, sorry, that sorry, sir. This is not driver. This is stub. Here we call it as driver. My apologies, guys. Okay. Here we call it as driver. Okay. Here we call it as driver. Okay. So here we call it as stub. Please note the difference, guys, or please make note out of this mistake here. This is called stub. Okay. You call it as a stub. If the developer said or have created the stub, now you can go ahead and testing. Yeah, he has created a temporary program which will help you test the main program. So here it is the stub. Okay, so in the top down approach, the temporary program is called stub. In the bottom up approach, the temporary program is called driver. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is this driver and stub. Okay, please remember that, in the interviews, if they call, there is a good chance that they will ask you what is the difference between a stub and the driver. Okay. Okay, so this is an interview question. Write it down, everybody. Okay, stub and driver. Okay, so note it down, who wants to note it down. Stub. Okay, while integrating, okay, the units. Okay, while integrating the units in top down approach. Okay, while integrating the units in from top to down. Okay, top down approach. If at all any mandatory program or okay, unit is not ready, okay, is missing or not ready, then that unit is replaced with a temporary program called stub. Okay, temporary program called stub. Okay, everybody, I'm putting this in the chat window as well. You can take it from the chat window if anybody is interested, because this is an interview question. Okay. Now driver, while integrate, everything is same. Okay, but the only difference is while integrating the units in bottom up approach. Okay, bottom up approach, while integrating the units in the bottom up approach from the bottom to the type. If at all any mandatory program or unit is not ready, then the unit is replaced with a temporary. I need to fix that spelling. Temporary. Okay, temporary. Okay, program called driver. Okay, driver. Are we okay, guys? So these two are almost a very important interview questions. Okay, please note it down. Please note it down. Okay. With this, we will stop today's class, guys. I'm not keeping well, to be honest. Okay, so we'll stop today's class. I'm pushing myself, but we will stop today's
Sure,
class. And then tomorrow when we come back, okay, so we have completed the white box testing. So tomorrow when we come back, we talk about the module level testing and then the system level testing and system integration testing, and then we will go ahead. So tomorrow should we have a class, or should we skip it and have it on Monday? I want everybody to attend. Whoever does not want the class, please call it out. Don't miss out any classes. Okay, so tomorrow is a Raki over here. So tell me, like, I don't know how many of you are celebrating and whatever you're doing. So should we have a class? One is yes, two is no. And by the way, today's class, if you haven't understood, it's not a big deal, guys. Just you need to understand the stub and the driver. Try to understand that, and then that should be good enough. Okay, if you don't understand today's class much, it should be still fine. Okay, you are still eligible to become a tester. Okay, you watch it couple of times, watch it in the internet, then you will be able to understand. Okay, I want to hear from all of you. Some of them said no, some of them said Monday. Okay, there's quite some people are saying no. Okay, okay, but is it because of Raki you don't want to attend? Tell me that one also. Okay, as if your health is okay. Okay, my health is okay, then tomorrow there is a class. I'll keep you posted on the WhatsApp group. Okay, then you can join the class, guys. Okay, so we will upload the class. Geeta says please upload yesterday's students. This been already uploaded. Hang on one second. Anita, ఇవాళ నిన్న క్లాస్ అప్లోడ్ అయిందమ్మా, నిన్న క్లాస్ అప్లోడ్ అయిందా? అయిందా వెబ్సైట్ లో పెట్టేసామా ఎప్పుడు పెట్టాం 3 o'clock 4 o'clock so Geeta the class has been already uploaded please check the website okay so already around 3 o'clock 4 o'clock it's been uploaded okay so take care guys any questions you want to ask me now is the time
Yes, sir. I have a question for you. Can I?
yeah anytime please
Yeah, we are discussing about that approaches integration, top-down approach, and there are 4 levels, sir. In 4 level, when the process gets over, then only the tester can do the testing. In 4 levels.
Usually you're not involved, Aruna. This is still white box testing, as I've told you. Generally, as a developer or a white box tester, you should be aware of it more, to be honest. But what you're asking is absolutely right. Only after the integration is done, you can do the integration testing. Okay. Before the integration is done, you can call it as a unit testing. Okay.
These all are come under functional testing, sir? Or
No. This is all white box testing. I clearly told you, na. This is a white box testing, which you might not be doing it in the real world, but just for the sake of knowing it, I am explaining it. Okay, but you will not be doing all this. This is not that complex. Whatever you will be doing in the real job is very simple. But you, as a manual tester, it is good to know all this. That's it.